horn button down, it activates this, pushes these two things together. These wipers are a little overrated, but hey, who needs wipers? Hey, it's Rick here. We're back on old Blackie. Wanted to tidy up a few things here. Got the new dash pad put in, the new used dash pad. So, yeah, stuff doesn't fall through the dash anymore, so that's a good thing. But one of the things we got to fix, every time you're turning the steering wheel, the horn honks, and what's wrong is, actually, I'll show you on this new one, well, this new used one. I went to the junkyard and got this. On the one we're going to pull out, this little wheel that turns on this one does not turn on that one, and it's worn down. And what it did was, on the back side of this little duker sets this, and this part rolls on this and then hooks to the part on the steering wheel here, and then when you push the horn button down, it activates this, pushes these two things together, and makes it honk. Well, what's happened is when this quit working, which you'll see when we tear it apart, it ground this piece down so far, it almost cut that in two, and it wore these two things down, so that now whenever you're turning the wheel, it actually shorts the ground across here, making the horn honk, and when the horn honks, one of the turn signals kind of flashes, and so, you know, it's just a big ordeal. So, with that said, I was able to find one of these at my favorite junkyard. So we're just, by golly, we're going to be popping this off of here, and we're going to see what we can get done. So, thanks for coming along for the ride. Okay, well, I got me some tools here, so let's see what we can come up with here. I know that this has to come off, and then we got to take our screwdriver, take this piece out of there. Now, this piece here is still good, but I went ahead, since I was at the junkyard, I just went ahead and bought all of the parts so that we could get this. I wanted to make sure I had enough good stuff, and then I'll save anything that's good and we'll keep it for some other project. But because I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you can, you know, text down below, but I think that 71 to 70 through 78 all use this same kind of thing here, but I could be wrong, and I'm sure there's viewers out there that's going to tell me that I'm wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong. Okay, let's see if we can get this off of here. Well, that's not even very tight, is it? Okay, there's that, and that's like a 3/4 inch socket, and I've had this wheel off of here already, so I don't think, the first time I pulled it off I had to put a puller on it, but I'd say we'll probably be able to get it off today. Yeah, it come right off there, so we'll just put that in. Here's what I was talking about. You can see on the back side of this how this just wore this clear down, and it's almost got that piece worn in half, so we're going to change that piece out. And if you look down in here, let me take you off of here, because some of you might be having this same problem, I don't know. But you can see that it's worn down so much that it's worn into this, and it shorts out as you're turning, because this little duker, look at that thing. I mean, it moves now, but when I took it apart originally to find out what was going on, this thing wouldn't even roll. It was locked up. So anyway, we're gonna get some snap ring pliers, take that out, take these screws out of here. We've got to take this one off to release the arm, and then that should loosen that up. And then we're going to have to get down underneath here and unplug this part. It looks like this, so that'll slide back up through the column. So, all right, show you more. Okay, well, the first thing we're going to do, there's two screws right here, two Phillips screws, one here and one here, and that takes this cover off. So we got to get that off of there. So I know you can't see what I'm doing much, but I'll try to talk you through it. Okay, there's two screws out of that. And I think these here may have to come out too. Should be one on each side of that. Now this may vary depending on the year. I've noticed that the 72 and the 78 and this is a 75, and they're all a little different right in here, but it's pretty much the same. Okay, so there's that piece that came out of there. Nice and clean, huh? All right. Now there's two sets of wires that run down here. One comes from the switching mechanism, because in this year of Dodge, the key, this is a switch and lock. It locks the ignition so you can't turn it on, but it does not lock the gear shift. And in the later models, the switch is actually down here on a rod, as well as in some of the GM products, I think. So they're all a little different, but anyway, in this particular one, that's what that is in this one. So, so you're going to have two sets of wires. Let me see if I can put you over here. So there's two sets of wires that run down through here. One is for the ignition system, and one is for the turn signals and hazard lights and all that. So you can see this bigger one here is the ignition, and this is the turn signal. So this is what we want to pull loose, and we'll take this apart. You've got to pry up that little end pin there, and it'll slip out of there. And then you take this apart, and it'll all pull out. So, all right, show you more. Okay, well, one of the things you don't want to do when you're taking these apart is to break this. This was so brittle down there, and so it just broke right on up. And I released the pin and everything because it has a little pin on there, and it still broke. So, but this is the bad one, which I want to save for parts. But I just kind of want to look at this and kind of compare these and make sure that we have the same color wire. Possibly. It looks like we do have the same color wire, so that's a plus. Yeah, the dark green with the white is the outer one, so that's good. Alright. So that means that we may be shitting in tall cotton here in a minute, so let's just see what happens. Alright, so if I remember right, we need to take, and I can't find my good cotter pin, or good snap ring tool, so we're going to use this, which is probably not the best way to do it, but this is the way we're going to do it. Alright, let's see. Oh, she'll come out of there. Oh, yeah, baby, she's a-coming now. Okay, there's that piece. wipe that off a little bit. I put that grease on there when I had it apart before, trying to figure everything out, because it was grinding in there, and I didn't know how soon it would be that I could get some parts, but luckily down there at the old junkyard he had some, so that was good. Wipe that off a little. Now we're going to take these screws here out, which will release this plate. Excuse me. That pork chop was pretty good. Okay, there's that. Get this one out of here. And I think I got a new one of these plates too, because you'll see, yeah, I see one down in my tray here. Because you'll see that this plate is all worn from the back side of that other part, rubbing on it. It just made a mess out of everything. And I don't know if this original little duker here just locked up and started causing the whole problem, or if when the little cancel lever here that pops this back up is broke off of here, and that could have gotten in there and gotten ground up and caused some problems too, you know, through the years. Who knows? So now, like I said earlier, these parts, the vehicle I got this off of was a 76, and this is a 75, and there are about 3 years right in there. See, you can see how this one, look how that's bent up. And so it's just, yeah, she's a shot. So anyway, there's about 3 years of this stuff along through here that match up, and this is the one you can't buy aftermarket, or at least I can't find one. I found a used one on eBay for $200, but they make a rebuild kit for this, but I've never tried to do that, so that's why I'm wanting to save this one, because maybe if I get a rebuild kit, maybe I can actually fix this one. But I know that 72 and older are different. 73, 74, 75, and 76 are the same, and then maybe 78, I don't know. But I know it's probably starting in 79, I think, is when it changes. And those are all relatively available, and so are the early ones. But this little group of them through here, they didn't make it for very many years, and I can't find any. If you find one on some place like Rock Auto or something, and you click on it, then it comes up and says not available. So anyway, don't know the reason for all that, but by golly, it's the truth. It's my version of the truth. Anyway, I'll say it that way. How's that? Okay, so we want to take this little duker off here, and that is too big. So let's get a smaller one and try that one. Oh, too big still yet. We're going for another one. This one is a 1/4 inch, and that is the one we got. Now, what this is going to do is take this handle off here, okay? So, because that's got to come off. You kind of hold this so you don't break it off of there. Oh, boy, that thing was really tight. Okay, and that's a big long screw. Now that should start allowing this to come up. She doesn't know want to come off of there. Let's just take a gander at this. You can see that long screw comes through here. That should just pop up out of there. There it goes. Just being stiff. Now the exciting part is getting this little flat set of pins up through here, but it'll come. She's going to come out of there. course, if it wasn't broke, what you do is you fold it to the side like that. That's why it's designed that way, and then it will slip up out of there. But this thing was getting caught because it was broken. So anyway, there's that piece out of there. And while you're in here, you can lube this bearing if you want to. I've already done it because I've already had this apart when I was working with it before. So I've already done that, but you can slide this up, put a little grease down in there, and keeps your shaft up in there. Let's see here. Now I tell you what I want to do. This one is less rusty, so I'm going to go in there and polish this up, and then we'll stick this back together. Alright, show you more. I'm just using a little steel wool on this. This is triple aught. Just kind of get that shined up a little bit. I mean, this is chrome. You really probably shouldn't use it on there, but you know, old Blackie, heck, it's alright. Alright, so that cleaned that up pretty good. Alright, so let's put this this is brand used, baby. Let's put this back down in there, and it's going to wind up this direction, so that's why I wanted to get this wire in here just right. So we want to feed that down in there. She's hung up over there a little bit. I can feel it. Well, I think she's turning on me a little there. Let's see if we can make that a little flatter. There. Let's try it like that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she went right in there. Okay. Slide this down in there. Like thus. Okay. That is sweet, baby. Alright, now let's get this little duker on here slid in there in place. Let's see, that's that big long screw in it. I hope you guys are watching this. Now it just threads right into this handle. The handle's got to fit into the little groove that's in the back of that switch. And I'm talking about this little groove right here. So, alright, tighten that up. It don't have to be as tight as that one was before, because that thing was... Okay. Now let's put the little screws in. And we have to put this plate in here. And this will only go in one way, guys and gals. Just like so, right there. Yeah, I think these little dukers are the screws. Now, a hint, whenever you go to the junkyard, I always, like when I took the stuff out, I brought all the little screws and everything, because you never know if you're going to, you know, lose one or... Okay, so let's get this back on here. I'm not going to tighten these up till I get all started now. Okay. A little hint there, if you pop that up, you can get it started. Same way this other way. Then you can get the little screw started down in there. Now, if you were going to go on and replace this switch, once you get this piece slid up out of here, then you take, there's 3 screws in here, and then this whole collar comes up off of there, and then you can feed the switch wire out the same way. So, but we don't have to do that today. Okay. Okay, now I want to get a little grease and put on that before we put anything else in here, so I'll show you more. Okay, got a little grease here. Well, I'm not wanting to get carried away with this, so I'm just using some high temp wheel bearing grease, and so you can just see there's just a little bit. I just want to put some on here, because I don't know why that other one locked up like it did, but I don't want to have to pull this back apart. So now I'm going to roll that around. Oh yeah, she's moving good now. Look at that. Okay, good deal. Oh, there's my rag. Oh, I think I'm sitting on a rag too. Alright. I used to be married to a rag, but that was 30 years ago. Alright. Okay. Now, I get to talking and I forget where I'm at. So now what we want to do, if you remember this piece here, we've got to replace this piece on the steering wheel. So we're going to pull this pin off, and you can see that that thing was just a grinding and a grinding down in there. So we're going to pull that off of there. Trust me, it'll come off. And now the end is near. Okay, she's a coming. Woo! There she went. Now let's just look at that piece and compare it to the other one. So you can see the other one is not been wearing. So anyway, don't know why, but it is the truth. Okay, now that should pop up off of there. There it goes. She's been on there for a few years. Let's see. I'm not real great at math, but I'd say about 40, well, let's see, 2001, so this is a 75, so at 2000, that had to have been 25 years old, and you add 25 and 21 together, and I guess that's 46, huh? So 46 years later, this thing come apart. And this is what I was concerned about, because this was just, that thing is just almost ready to break. So I knew if I didn't replace that, that'd be the next thing, and I'd have to pull it apart, because you can see this one has got a lot of space in it yet. So anyway, such as it is. That goes back through that hole. Now, I think we're ready to put the steering wheel back on. We've got to hook this up down here yet. So let's put the wheel on. Well, of course I got some grease on there, naturally. Gloves are overrated, but they sure are nice. Alright. Now, this wheel, on this model anyway, will only go on one way. So, if you look up in there, right there is a groove. You probably can't see it, but there's a groove right there, and that has to line up with that groove right there. So if you think you've pulled your steering wheel off wrong, or you didn't mark where it was at when you pulled it off, you can always look at, because it'll only go on one way, see? And this would actually have been straight right here. Okay, so. Alright, so. There. Okay. Alright, so let's continue on. Let's put the washer on here and run the screw down on there. Right there's the screw. Actually, it's not a screw. It's a tap. Or it's not a tap, it's a nut. Whatever. It just depends on where you're from. My grandpa used to call rocks Donics. You tell me where that came from, because I don't know. He was Welsh, so maybe that's a Welsh thing. I don't know. Alright, no grindy, no grindy. Okay. Now, let's see if we can get this piece put back in there. And I think this little duker only goes in one way, but I can't remember. Got to get the little screws down in here. Find the screwdriver. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. There's a little indent thing, doogie whopper there. That must go someplace. Right there's where it goes. So this goes just like this. See that little tit goes in that little hole right there. Gotta line up the teats. And I don't know if this is the new one or if this is the old switch. I don't remember. I brought both of them from the junkyard, or all of it, because I didn't know what we would need. And they look the same, so hopefully they are. And this little piece should slot. Well, that one's bent. So I'll bet that's the one from the junkyard. No. No, she looks the same. Okay. Alright, so this little duker here goes in just like this and plugs into that. Okay, so let's turn the key on. Got her hooked up down there. Hey! Turn signals are clicking. Turn signals are clicking. Alright. Okay, so at this point, the only thing left to do is get our panels put back on, get our horn button put on, and we're good to go. So I hope this helped you. You know, when I fix things, I just kind of get in here and work on them and fix them. You know, you may have better ideas, and I'm always open for them suggestions. Drop me a line, comment down below, but keep the comments nice. I mean, sometimes people are kind of rude. But anyway, whatever. But drop us a comment down below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I think we got 222 subscribers now. So, you know, we're starting to get some more subscribers, and that's great. Because the more subscribers we get, the more content we're going to get, and the better quality content. Because one of the things I want to do once we reach 1,000 is I want to get a new camera, or a better way of recording this. Need to get a GoPro or something like that. So this old Polaroid thing is, or Kodak thing I'm using is, you know, it's kind of old and antique like me. So anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure and like and share. I think I already said that, but it don't hurt to say it again. Ring that bell too, because that lets you know when we get the next episode out. So, and we've got some exciting stuff coming up. But I won't tell you about that just yet. Alright. Thanks for watching. Bye.